2025, my friend, a year of completion, a 9-year in numerology, year of the snake, we've been shedding. So how's 2025 been for you? I want this to be an opportunity for you to just land as we arrive at this kind of foothold, if that's even a word. But I'm just kind of getting the vision, and it's like us. When I say us, like this collective that is here on this mission, that is aligned with this energy, and I'm trusting that if you're here, then that means something to you too. And deep down inside you, you'll know that there's this calling to something greater than where you've been, than what you know. You don't quite know what it is, but you're trusting it, and you're taking one step at a time. And here I find you with me energetically as we stand at the foot of this big energetic portal that takes us into 2026. And as we stand here, it's like we're looking at this big, giant energetic doorway, and we're kind of dwarfed by it. We don't know what's to come. We don't know what it holds, but we're standing here, maybe a little bit beaten and battered by 2025. Never mind 2025, like by life, because I know that the people that are here and that are attracted to this message are people who have really been through some stuff. And as I'm speaking, I can feel the emotion like rising up from my heart into my throat, because I know there will be many of us that have really weathered some storms throughout our life, and 2025 has been no exception. So as we stand here at this portal of possibility, this is an invitation for you to just pause, take a breath, and give yourself an energetic hug to acknowledge what you've been through and what you've overcome this year and the years previously, for all the storms that you've weathered, and still you rise. So if we can take this moment just to catch a breath. So often we're so busy in life we don't even stop to breathe, but this is your invitation to just stop. Let yourself land. Whether you're sitting down, listening to this, watching this, whether you're in the kitchen busy, on the school run, just allow in some way, some presence to just land in this moment. If you're sitting down, just feel your body connected to your seat and to the floor. If you're washing up, just all of a sudden, just become aware of the feeling of the water on your hands. If you're outside, just become really aware of the nature that surrounds you. Maybe you're in the bath or in the shower. Just feel that water, feel the temperature. Take a breath wherever you are. It's most needed. Take a deep breath. And if it helps, you can just exhale with a big sigh to really exhale the energy of 2025. It's been a lot. And here, as we exhale and sort of thin out the energy a bit from the weight of what we've been carrying, we allow ourselves to then take another in-breath. And on that in-breath, we can smell the sense of possibility that's coming in 2026. So this is just an opportunity for us to really take stock of where we've been and what we've been through, so that we can really anchor our roots and connect to that sense of possibility that's coming in for 2026. So I just want to send you a big hug right now, a big energetic hug, and say that I see you. I can feel the battles that you've overcome. I can feel the times that you've been on your knees and thought you'd never get back up again. I've been there myself too. And I feel it it feels so vivid and so real. So I'm just sending you love and a big hug and letting you know that you're not alone. And I'm glad that you found me. If this is your first time coming across me, welcome. I'm Zoe Fox, and I'm just dedicated to helping other people to connect to their light through the hard times. My book's coming out on Hay House next year. And I've been on a real journey myself of reconnecting to all the beautiful things in life, having been through some really difficult experiences in life. And it's in walking through those challenges and trauma and the hard times that has just, it's what's made me committed now to helping others to weather the storms and to come through it smiling. So thank you for being here. So before I turned on the camera, I just sat down and did a little bit of meditation. I lit an incense and got centered and just thought of a few questions, or just allowed a few questions to pop up into my head. And this is what I want to share with you. So we're just going to review a little bit what has been 2025. And excuse me if you can hear shouting outside. There's some men doing some work on the pavement outside. So take another breath. And you can either write these down and come back to them. If you don't have the space to do it today, what I'll do is I will write the questions in the description so you can take some time to journal on it, because I think it's a really good idea to do this with a real sense of ritual or ceremony or full-bodied presence, where you create a little environment for yourself. You might want some soft, gentle music in the background. Bring your favourite form of, I would say, non-alcoholic hydration, because everything that I encourage is kind of done with a sense of full-bodied presence and awareness. So you can tune into the subtle energies that are around you to help guide you. Make sure you're comfortable in temperature and clothing, and find your favourite place to sit and be where you won't be disturbed, and pull out your journal. It's time to reflect, have a think about where we've been and where we are. And what we'll do is another episode, or depending on how long this one takes, but what I see is then we'll do another episode before the month concludes that will help us then to connect to the energy and the sense of possibility for 2026. So that's when we've taken our seat at the portal, we're looking back over the bridge of where we've come, we're looking up at this sense of possibility. And then in the next episode, we'll just move a little bit closer as we prepare to rise, to meet the portal as we step into 2026. So, December 2025, we made it for a start. We made it, despite how difficult it's been at times. So the first question that I'm inviting you to reflect on, and all of this is just an invitation. It's not an instruction with anything that anybody ever says or does in any of these videos. Like, it has to meet a sense of resonance within you that feels like it's a good idea. Don't just do it for the sake of it, because, you know, anyone could be telling you to do anything, unless you've got that sense within that feels like, yeah, that's a worthy or worthwhile point of inquiry. So with each of these questions as well, there's a follow-up question that underpins all of them. So I'll say the initial question, and then off the back of that we'll go into the secondary question that just helps us to look a little bit deeper under the hood. So question number 1, what hurt you in 2025? What hurt you? We'll all have different experiences. I'm wondering what that was for you. And when you've reflected on what hurt, if you're out busy doing stuff now, your mind might find yourself naturally just going there, wondering, thinking back to the things that hurt. But we're not just going to dwell on what hurt. We're then going to ask the next question, which is, what did it teach me? So what hurt and what did it teach me? You might have witnessed someone you love going through something difficult. You might have had to leave someone behind who you, became no longer aligned with. You might have had to make some tough decisions. So what hurt And what did it teach you? Question 2, what frightened you? In 2025, what frightened you? So for me, in 2025, I had quite a scary moment when my dad was taken ill. And that was really frightening for me. It really shook the foundations of my sense of safety and brought up a lot of fear. And I do feel like for me, 2025 has really been an opportunity to look at a lot of things that deep down I'm frightened of. It's a lot of stuff that is anchored to the sense of safety that comes from a strong and vibrant root chakra. So, yeah, my dad getting ill, it brought up a lot of foundational safety issues that have been reflected in other aspects of my life through this year as well, that have shaken my sense of safety. Some stuff about housing, things that are just that you need at a basic level so that you can feel like comfortable enough to move on to do other things, creative things, if we think about the chakra system. And then we're moving up to the sacral chakra of all things creative. So at a foundational level, has anything shook you up this year? It could be, losing a job, losing a relationship, the loss of someone you love. A whole host of different things can shake that sense of safety. So what frightened you? And what did it teach you? So some of the things there I just kind of reflected on a little bit were like, yeah, when my dad got ill, it was obviously absolute fear about him and his safety and his healing. But then also it's like, what else is that stirring up for you? Do you have deeper wounds that are associated with fear that have been stirred up by some of these things, like, around your safety? And what did it teach you? What did it teach you? And if you've come through those fears and you've lived to tell another day, to speak of whatever the expression is, why is it always when I want these most profound expressions, my brain just says anything? But you know what I'm saying. You lived to tell the story. You survived another day. Anyway, let's not wait for my brain to try and figure it out. Now I've lost my whole thread. So you've survived another day. So what does that teach you about fear? That in the face of it, we go through it and it feels horrible and it shakes our sense of safety. But we survive, we come through it. And let that be a reminder to you that you are capable of so much. You've survived so much. So what did it teach you? Now have a little think about anywhere you might have shrunk yourself in 2025. Can you think of any occasions where you held back your light, or where someone else made you feel like you wanted to shrink? Have a think about anywhere in 2025 where you limited your capacity to shine. And then ask, what did it teach you? Maybe you held back because you didn't want to make somebody else feel away. But how does it feel to inhibit your light? Another question is, where did I grow? Where in 2025 have you expanded and grown? If you think back through the year and all the opportunities, it could be something small, it could be something big. Maybe you've strengthened your boundaries. Maybe you've taken the leap at some opportunities. Maybe you've said yes to whatever it might be. Where did you grow? And what did it teach you? Because sometimes when we take these risks and we take these opportunities to do something that we've been putting off, it really emboldens our confidence. So just have a think about the ways that taking those moves to help you grow might have helped to nurture that sense of confidence and courage. What did you achieve in 2025? What did you achieve? So was there something that you set out to do? Maybe at the beginning of the year you set out with a bunch of resolutions. I prefer New Year's intentions, but maybe you set out with a bunch of resolutions or intentions. What did you achieve? Was there something that you had in the notes app of your phone that you always wanted to do and finally you made it happen? Did you finally go for that new job position or start creating the content that your heart's been calling to? What did you achieve? And then what did it teach you when you took those steps, when you took a chance on yourself, when you got the results, whatever it is? What did it teach you? And also then thinking about what didn't manifest. Did you go from 2024 into 2025 with these big ideas about what you wanted to do, what you wanted to achieve, what you wanted to be, and then found yourself stuck in old patterns that stopped you from taking action? Or maybe life just had a different plan, and even though you took all your steps to help something manifest, it just didn't come to be. So what didn't manifest? And what did that teach you? It will depend really on what didn't manifest and why. Maybe if you took all the steps and it just didn't pan out as you hoped, maybe it's just that the universe has got something better planned for you. But in taking those steps that you got to learn something more about yourself. And as it is the year of the snake, and we've been doing that shedding and disconnecting from what no longer aligns with us so we can move into this energetic portal of 2026 with a sense of clarity and refined alignment. What did you let go of? What skin have you shed? What have you released? And it doesn't always mean it's easy. It doesn't always mean that it's like a conscious decision either. Some things, again, it's outside of your control and you have to let go. Maybe you were forced to let go. Maybe you mindfully let go of stuff that, you know, is a result of you establishing these new boundaries. Or maybe it's these character traits that you know are keeping you stuck and that are anchored to old versions of yourself, but now you're ready to move on. So what have you let go of? For me, I feel like this kind of fear thing that's come up for me a lot in 2025 is a very old pattern for me. Now, fear is something that came up a lot for me after my boyfriend died really suddenly back in 2002. And it's been a bit of an arch nemesis. It's like a dark entity that I feel like I'm in this battle of light and darkness with at times. But I feel like in 2025, it's something that I've really conquered. I've stuck like a metaphorical sword in fear's back, and I'm standing there with one foot upon it, you know, like in this sense of victory, because I know that whatever happens, whatever life throws at me, I'm resilient. I'm always going to bounce back. I'm always going to mine what's happened for the deepest, darkest lessons and use it to enrich myself so that I can just keep coming back stronger and stronger. So now fear isn't something that I turn away from. It's something that I lean into. It's something that I explore and I examine. And I've become so robust as a result of it. And as someone who was so scared at one point that I just lived inside my flat, agoraphobic, and I wouldn't go out, coming face to face with my biggest fears, my dad's health, you know, having a spinal cord injury, suddenly becoming paralysed at one point, my boyfriend dying, having to go through IVF and that failure. I have childbirth, coming close to death in childbirth with sepsis and hemorrhage. I've come face to face with some of the worst of my fears, and each time I've come back stronger. So now fear's scared of me because it knows I'm looking for it. Because each time it's an opportunity to rise. And that's what I want for the collective of people here as well, that are maybe a little bit beaten by life, a little bit hesitant to take steps because you've been hurt before. But I want you to know that within these challenges lies so much possibility, and let this just be a message of hope to you. So, yeah, what did you let go of and what did it teach you? What did it teach you? And just sit and have a little reflect on some of those things. And who have you become as a result of all of that as 2025 closes out? So I hope some of those questions are helpful for you. I think self-reflection is, again, one of the biggest keys to just living a free life. And when I say free, it's like you're not bogged down by all these past patterns and anxieties and things that stop us from living a full life. When we self-reflect, we get to see what no longer serves us, what is just, what are just these outdated patterns that we're holding on to because we've been so on autopilot that we haven't really had the opportunity to be like, hang on a minute, does that even still stand? Is that even a part of me? Does that even resonate with who I am now? And we get to consciously then say, yeah, this doesn't really serve me where I'm going. Let me acknowledge it, see the lessons within it, lovingly release it, thank it for what it did in trying to keep me safe, but just let it know that it's not needed where I'm heading. Yeah. And just give thanks. Give thanks for your strength of character. Give thanks to your spirit. And just give thanks to you for being the awesome, incredible human that you are, that just keeps going. And within it has still got that sense of love, compassion, connection in their heart. And you keep showing up from that sense of just beauty that lives within you. So as we prepare to step into that portal of 2026, we'll leave those 2025 reflections there. I hope it's helped in some way. I'm sending you so much love. Come and connect with me. I'll leave the link to the Heart Healing and Soul Growth community in the description. It's a free community. It's fledgling. There's not much life there, but I want to nurture this as a space where we can come, we can reflect, where you know that there's like-minded souls in there. There's already a few beautiful souls in there that we're all on the same mission, to be the best that we can be, to shine from our hearts and just to create a more loving, compassionate world, But also you can find me on Instagram at Zoe Ellen Fox. So big love, my friend. And I'm excited about what is to come for you, you resilient little soldier. Big love. Peace out. And I will catch you next week.